Welcome back to another Wednesday, Carnage Unleashed. How you doing, fellas? We'll start with you, Connor.
Doing good. I'm excited to be here. Got a big Saturday coming up this weekend, so I'm excited for that. Get to talk about that today and some things that have gone down in the UFC. I'm pumped.
Heck yeah. How about you, Kev?
It's been a good week. I'm kind of glad that we probably won't have time for the wrestling minute this week because it's going to be a lot more fun to talk about what we have on our schedule rather than me just complaining for 20 straight minutes about the state of the WWE. So, Wade, how about you, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad this fall weather's finally kicking in. Get to open up the windows a little bit.
Yes.
I love it. Fall's my favorite. But we've got some special guests today. First up will be Chip Parker. Let's bring him on. How you doing, Chip?
What's going on, guys? Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, doing great.
Good.
Good.
All right, so you have a fight coming up this weekend. Any nerves, or are you feeling good so far?
I'm feeling pretty good. Of course, there's always those pre-fight nerves, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just really excited to finally be fighting for a belt and fighting somebody who's really going to be a good test. So
Nice. All right, just a touch. I was going through your topology, and I realized your name was Nathaniel instead of someone had told us Chris at first. So I was doing more research and found out it's Chip. How did you get the nickname Chip?
So my dad has been calling me, really everybody's been calling me Chip since I was born. But my dad came up with it. He was a big, I don't know if you guys know who Chipper Jones is. He was a
yeah,
Hall of Fame baseball player for the Braves, third baseman. Dad named me after him. So
Nice. I like you played on that too with the fight nickname, the Bone Chipper. I like that.
hey, that wasn't me. I don't know how that even got there. I like the no nickname, but I don't know. That just appeared one day. I was like, all right, we'll go with it, I guess.
I love that, dude. And I can't wait for Clayton to hear this because he gives me crap all the time for making references to Greg Maddux because he says that nobody is old enough to remember who that is. So, yeah, love some Chipper Jones. While we're on the sports topics, I also noticed looks like that's a Golden State Warriors hat you got on. How you feeling about that? Are they your team? I know the season is starting this week. How you feeling?
Man, I'm not even a Warriors fan. It's just a hat I wear a lot because it's comfy. But
Nice.
My fiance, her uncle is actually Draymond Green, so we get free Warriors stuff all the time. So yeah, I'll take the gear.
Right. No kidding, dude. That is awesome.
I should probably watch basketball more though.
Yeah, you might get a few extra hats out of it. Be like, hey, nice 8, 8, and 8. He's that dude who put he might not have 20 points, but he'll have multiple stats. Like he'll get like a quadruple, a quintuple single. It's like, well, he did a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
cool.
A couple elbows too.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Man. But yeah, we got to get him a fight when he retires. That's
Oh
the
my.
goal.
Yes. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
He might be perfect for dirty boxing.
Man.
He wouldn't have to worry about learning any of the grappling side of it.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and get us started here. I was looking through your previous matchups and on a bit of a fight win streak here for you. So how are you feeling about that? I noticed, so according to Tapology, it was you won a couple in a row by unanimous decision, and then the most recent was actually a first round finish. So I wanted to ask you about that. Was there something that you learned about yourself after those two decision victories that led to you getting that early first round win? Or was it something that you noticed in your opponent when you were watching tape? Like, oh, hey, I can exploit this. What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so it's definitely been a big skill development road. my first fight, I had only been training striking and MMA for like, I want to say 6-7 months total, maybe 8 months. Like it'd been on and off up until a few months put together before that. But yeah, so that one ended because like I was just trying to wrestle and I got caught in a guillotine and just sloppy debut. But um, second one, I wanted to stand up a lot more, and I was able to, and I beat the guy's legs up pretty good, and it was against a pretty good. He's 1-3, but he's a pretty good little boxer. He should have won his last fight that I watched, but I should have finished him. I hit a knee straight to the solar plexus in the second round and dropped him and circled up and locked in a choke. The referee thought that I need him in the face. Ohio amateur, obviously, it's illegal. So I would like to have that one back, in the books as a finish. But and then the last, or I'm sorry, March of this year, that one was just, yeah, I wanted to stay on the feet. And then, if it went to the ground, it went to the ground against another striker, boxer. And, just went wherever that fight went. And then, yeah, the last one, I was like, I don't need a decision. Like, I just want to finish this one as fast as possible. So while staying under control.
Well, you did get that. You got was punches from Mount with 155 in the first round. So I say you did that pretty quick.
Still would have liked to get it sooner, but I'll take the 155.
Nice. Out of all the fights that you've had so far, which fight have you learned the most from?
It's a great question. Um, I would say probably my first fight. I went in there like not really knowing what to expect. It was against Matt Dugan, who's ended up having a pretty extensive amateur career so far, and I learned like, he wasn't any bum. So if I thought I was comparable to him in that first fight, and I made a dumb mistake, and um, I definitely, all my teammates after that were just throwing guillotines at me all the time. So I learned a lot from that one, how to pull my head out of a guillotine, how to avoid it, how to, properly take somebody down in an MMA fight, not like it's wrestling.
I did want to ask about your fight coming up this Saturday versus Will. You and Will, similar records, both only one defeat on your record. If you're a big film study guy, have you studied some of Will's fights? And if you have, what is something you picked up, and what are some things what are the things that really stick out to you from Will's game?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely competent in every area. He's not like, he's not heavy one area or another. He's pretty solid everywhere. So I've really just been working on, what I usually do: work my stand up, work my grappling. Um, just getting better at everything has been the main goal of that. But yeah, he's solid everywhere. So I'm excited to be, tested everywhere.
Where do you feel, him being so solid and you being a solid fighter yourself, pretty well rounded guys, where do you feel you have the biggest advantage over Will going into this fight?
I feel like maybe my, and I don't know his experience outside of what Tapology has, but I feel like maybe my experience. I've been fighting since 2023. I've seen I know he wrestled, so he's got that one-on-one combat sport like experience, but um, he started fighting in December of 2024, and so he's been rattling off fights, which guys like that are killers, man.
Mhm.
But I feel like, maybe my skill development and my experience, I might have an edge on him there. But we'll see.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. So speaking of that experience and that extra time, what has there been any particular area of focus that you've spent a little extra time on in your fight camp? Is there any part of your game that you've been really locked in on, or has it just been, like you said, he's competent in every area? Has it been more of a well-rounded camp? Is there anything that you've been dialed in on?
Yeah, without giving too much away.
Right. Sorry, I was trying to tiptoe around. Like, you don't have to tell me the whole game plan.
No, you're all good. No, yeah, it really has been like just working everywhere. I usually train twice a day, at least striking once, at least grappling once, and then I'll mix it in there as well. So, yeah, really just trying to get as well rounded as possible against him, because it could stay on the feet, it could end up on the ground, and just being prepared for wherever it goes.
Awesome. Yeah. Is that pretty much your game plan going into all your fights? Is pretty much focus on your skill set and making it well-rounded as possible, and not too much focus on like what your opponent's going to do? You kind of impose your will kind of thing?
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely like to focus on myself and my own skill development. Um, yeah, because I mean, I can't. I'm only gonna keep getting better at grappling and striking. So that's the main focus, is get as well rounded as possible. That's usually the best fighters, in my opinion, are the ones that can go with the flow of the fight. So.
Nice. Yeah. What's your favorite discipline? Do you like striking, kickboxing, or do you like the grappling, jiu-jitsu stuff more?
I really took a liking to the ground game when I started jujitsu. I started jujitsu and Muay Thai at the same time, so I like to think I'm equal in both. But I definitely like. There's something about grappling that just is a little bit more addicting, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I took
Wade
I'd
a
loves it.
jiu-jitsu class.
You have no idea how much Wade
I was
loves
a,
it.
I was a wrestler and I was a jiu-jitsu guy.
I
I
Yeah.
did
agree with
jiu-jitsu
that.
for a while, so I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I did want to ask. My first time seeing you in person was your last fight at Ego, and I noticed how massive of a human being that you are. So, what is your? How do you incorporate your workouts into your training sessions, especially during a fight camp for a big fight like this?
Yeah, usually like at least 2-3 times a week I'm doing a little bit of strength and conditioning. Um I during the fight camp I like to keep it very mobility oriented and and maintenance oriented. Outside of fight camp, uh I'll do a little bit more like explosive building and muscle building, that kind of thing. But um, I definitely like to to put some muscle on when I'm outside of camp. That way, when I'm inside of camp and I come to that weight cut, if I lose any muscle, I'm still gonna be fairly strong for my weight class.
Gotcha. I had to ask. I said it was one of the first things I noticed in your fight. I was like, this dude is big for 45. So I was wondering how you made that work.
Appreciate that, man. I want to go to 35 next.
Jesus,
Yeah, I want to go
dude.
next one, hopefully in Kentucky or something like that.
Oh, day before weigh-ins? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that'd be dangerous.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see.
Awesome. Yeah. So I want to take it back. So how'd you get into the mixed martial arts world?
Yeah. So when I was young, when I was growing up, I wrestled, and then when I got a little bit older, so my cousin, his name's Jake Schmidt. He was about 4 years older than me. He was a state placer for Coldwater in wrestling, and man, he used to ragdoll me when we were growing up and everything. So for a minute, that like I wrestled for a while, and then eventually I was like, man, like I'm never gonna be as good as him. Maybe I should just just focus on football. And so then I ended up doing that whole ordeal, focusing on football, and then I went to college at Mount St. Joseph and played football. And then I actually I got hurt my last year, and during that, or actually I'm sorry, before that, before I had gotten hurt, over the summer I had started jujitsu and Muay Thai, just to help with my hips and my mobility for football. And I really ended up loving it. And then in football I got hurt, and then so I had to take time off of everything. And then after that I was like, screw football. I like this stuff too much. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Oh, that's awesome. What was your position in football?
I played safety.
Safety. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You seem
Yep.
like safety. You like cracking dude.
I would say Wade might have liked, as former wide receivers, might like that one a little less, huh? Than,
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
grappling excitement. Wouldn't want to see you coming across the middle,
Hey man, it was fun. It was a fun position to play for sure.
Well, Wade wanted to take it back to the beginning, and I know that pretty soon we'll have Will up here with you. So while I still have a chance, I wanted to ask you, as we near the end of 2025, what is in your game plan, Chip? So short-term plans. Do you have any goals that you've already laid out for yourself for 2026? Let's say everything goes your way Saturday, you win that fight. What is next for you?
Yeah, I definitely like to take it one fight at a time, but I have thought about that a little bit. I obviously want to get this belt, this title, and then after that, I do think I want to take some time for some more skill development, and maybe fight March, April or so of 2026. I want to go down to Kentucky and try out 135. And then after that, we'll see how that goes, and then maybe make a pro debut or something later in the year. I'm actually getting married in August, so that kind of
Congratulations.
slow on the plans
yeah.
a little bit, but
priorities. Yeah, that's a good call. I think you're on the right track there.
yeah. But hopefully, I get that fight in at 135 before the wedding.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, guys, I noticed that Will did just join us backstage. So do you guys have any other questions just for Chip before I pull Will on?
I do not.
Should this be the time for the prediction question, or are we saving the prediction question? Because that's my favorite question.
Go ahead. Shoot it off.
Chip, what is your prediction for this Saturday, and how do you bring that belt home?
Yeah, man, Connor, you're an instigator. I can tell. No, really. I just want to win any way possible. I definitely, like I was saying, wherever the fight goes, I have the ability to finish. The goal is to get a finish, but I'll work all 3 rounds if I need to too. So, any way possible, I'm willing to go the distance, willing to get the KO, TKO, submission, however it may be.
Gotcha. Smart answer. Clean answer.
Right.
That was good. We're gonna bring Will. Yeah, right. You tried. I was ready too. I was like, hey, I'm hovering over Will at the stage. Like, Will, your thoughts?
No.
Yeah, right.
I tried.
It's like he's actually right here.
There he is.
Here he is.
Y'all are
Number
crazy.
2. Hey, Will, welcome to the show.
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
Good, man. Good.
Pretty good.
I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess I guess since we were on the predictions, and I know we'll have some time to talk to Will, just the 4 of us, I guess. So should we stick with the predictions while we're here? Will, do you have any thoughts for how this bad boy is going to go for you?
I'm predicting a finish. I would like to say it's on the ground. I know he likes to wrestle. There's not much film that I could find of you. but I know he
Good,
likes
good.
to wrestle.
Good, he
so,
said.
But if he does decide to stand, then I think I can finish it on the feet too. So respect.
Man, you have the same answer as me.
That's how I feel, man.
I try to pull it out of you guys, but
They're confident. They just want to
Yeah.
go in there and fight, get that W. So I respect that.
Yeah.
mature answers. It's good answers.
I know it's going to be a war. There are two types of interviews that always deliver a banger. And the one we've seen before, right, guys, where we get to ask maybe a question, and then we're just sitting back and it's, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you. But I feel like it's often underrated when it's two respectful yet very confident fighters that are like, oh, yeah, dude, I know I got it. But with respect, these guys are going to blow the roof off this place. That's the only prediction you're getting out of me tonight, fellas.
Oh yeah, out of this
I like
whole
that.
card, this is the fight I think I'm the most pumped for. Once I saw this was on the card, I got very excited for this one. That's why they were my pick to do the interviews. It's like, we got to get these two on here. This is the fight to watch. I'm pumped for this.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Chip, we don't want to keep you much longer. If you had any shout outs, you can shout people out and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah. You know, obviously I like to thank God for every opportunity I get. And you know, he's brought me a long way, and you know, gone through some stuff, and he keeps me level, he keeps me going. So you know, definitely would like to thank Jesus in every situation. So
Amen to that. Well, you enjoy your evening, and thank you for stopping out. And
yeah,
doing this
appreciate you
interview.
guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Chip. See you Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, Chip.
Yep, see you guys Saturday.
Will, so how you doing?
Doing great. Ready to go.
How's the weight cut going for you?
Fucking. Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, no, you're all good.
I had my buddy over, and he brought a 6-piece chicken thing from Cane's. I'm starving, man.
Oh man, to have to smell that, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Mm-mm.
Kev, you want to ask your famous question?
What's up?
Which one? The one about the post?
Food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very he just said, I'm starving. I gotta sit here and smell the remnants of Cane's. And I'm like, oh yeah, what are you looking to eat after the fight? But since we're here, sorry to torture you more, Will, but do you have a post-bout meal picked out, or do you have a go-to, or is it just
New York
whatever food's next to me?
New York strip steak with some eggs. I just throw it on a cast iron.
Oh,
Yes.
That's
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm simple.
eat like kings, steak
Yeah.
and eggs.
There you go.
Not on the cutting. No.
Yeah. Nice. So Will, pretty young to the sport. You just hasn't even been a year since you started, but you've been very active in 2025. And so how did you get started into MMA?
So I wrestled growing up pretty much my whole life. And I always had brothers, and, you know, we'd tussle around, and I'd always get whooped. And it kind of just made me want to learn how to fight. And one day I was on YouTube, and I saw Sean O'Malley's Contender Series fight. And the way he knocked him out just made me fall in love with striking too. And I was like interested in the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I always liked grappling, but after that, I just fell in love with all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep. Just wanted to put someone to sleep too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what was it like getting in there for the first time for you?
It was crazy, man. If I'm being honest, I didn't even have a camp. I did a charity match, and I got whooped at the charity match. I was super out of shape, and he's like, "Man, I got a really nice matchup for you. You're about to be 1-0. All you got to do is show up." Okay. I started training. You know what I mean? I got I got prepared as best as I could, but it was short notice, and yeah, it was great. Just went in there, did my thing.
Yeah, you did. You got KO in the second round
Yes, sir.
for your debut. That's quite a debut there.
It was a pretty nice KO too. I remember seeing that one. I saw the video of that one. That one was pretty slick.
I felt like the man for a minute.
That pulled you in.
Yes, sir.
It had to be a bit like a full circle moment a little bit too, since you mentioned it was Sean O'Malley with the striking that kind of won you over. For that to be your first taste of victory, I'm sure added a little extra flavor to that moment.
Yeah, 100%. And I had boxing matches before that too. Like I have a knockout in boxing, and like I knew I could hit hard, but just the idea of putting on 4-ounce gloves and not having pillows to defend myself, like I was tweaking out. But yeah, I was super relieved. So full circle.
Oh, for sure. So I'm gonna ask this question to you as well that I asked Chip. Out of all your fights so far, what was the fight that you learned the most from?
I think you guys know the answer to that one. It was JD. Didn't go my way. I had some things going on outside of fighting that, you know what I mean, are whatever. It doesn't matter. Excuses are excuses. But that made me realize that I needed to focus more on the future of my career if I really wanted to do this. Because he hit me like one time and I actually fractured my nose. So it made me realize this ain't like, I can't just go in there and expect to be able to hang with everybody, you know? I couldn't get off me. And my wrestling is what I think is my best attribute. So yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So what have you done to prepare for this fight this weekend? Is it camp as usual, or have you been implementing any special things for this fight?
We just stay ready. You know how it is. I've been really focused on the mental side of things. Like with my last fight, it really showed. I had the JD loss, and then I went out and I wanted to prove something, and I got a slam TKO. And I plan on something similar this Saturday. I want to impose my wrestling. I want to show that I'm the better striker. It's all mental work. The physical part doesn't really change. We just stay ready. More gauntlets, I guess.
Oh yeah, man! I love seeing those gauntlets at the. You mentioned some of the charity events, and those are like, man, dude, I can imagine you guys are doing that a lot more often in practice too. I'm sure there's nothing quite. We talk about how hard it is to simulate. No matter the sport, right? It's hard to simulate game speed, and so to have those gauntlets where a fresh guy gets to come in and you just finished 3 minutes. I'm sure that's very helpful to the process. So with that in mind, is there an element of it that you enjoy the most? I mean, I have a feeling it might be the striking, just based on what you've told us so far, that you've also had a long-term grappling base. So is there something that just excites you the most about training, or even just practice throughout the week? Like you said, you always stay ready, so I assume there's not a huge difference from just regular training to a fight camp. But do you have certain elements that you're like, dude, this is what we do on Thursdays, and I freaking love Thursdays because we do this?
I love sparring. I love MMA sparring, specifically with like the 8-ounce. But no, I like it all. It's all important. Even the wrestling drills that suck, like getting thrown up against the cage, getting choked out by Q when I can't fight back at all. You know what I mean? Every part of it is beautiful in its own way. You can't leave anything. I don't know. It's hard to try to find the little things that you enjoy, but if you can do that, you'll come a really long way. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that's like a cheat code to life at all. Like if you can find joy out of the mundane, or what, no matter what it is, like that is such a that's such a level up for you personally. Because yeah, there's going to be different. Even when you're doing what you love the most, what you think you were born to do, there are going to be days where you just don't really feel like doing it. And so I think that's a great skill to have. And a great approach to it as well. You know, as I am often to ask, and I know it's usually a one fight at a time mentality, but I'm interested to hear if you have some thoughts on this, because as Wade mentioned, you've been incredibly active in your first full year as in MMA, and you also mentioned doing some boxing as well. So do you have sort of a roadmap laid out for yourself for 2026? We got a couple of fights or a couple of months left in this year. Do you expect to continue to do some boxing stuff next year, or have you thought that far ahead?
2026, I have not even thought about. All I'm gonna say is by the end of this year, I'll be 6-1.
Oh, nice. Okay, there we go.
Yes, sir.
Like that a lot. Like that a lot.
We're amateurs. I like to it's not, my paycheck isn't riding out on this. You know what I mean? We just go out there, handle business. I have a loss already. The pressure's off. You know what I mean? I'm going to do everything I can to win, but I'm not scared to take hard fights. I'll step in when the odds are bad. You know what I mean? People think too much.
It's the right way to look at it.
Yep.
No
It's a
point
time to risk those losses, if you will, right now. To just gain that experience. It's not going to be on your permanent record, so get all the experience you can before getting that going pro.
Absolutely.
100%.
Awesome. So this being a belt fight, you mentioned you said your last one was a belt fight, right? Yeah. So back-to-back belt fights. What does it mean to you to walk out with this belt for this weekend?
It's great for my ego. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome, but at the end of the day, like, a fight's a fight. So I'm looking at this with a clear head. I'm not getting too hyped up on the fact that, it's a title fight, like pressure's on. I'm just going to go out there and scrap, and I'll get a nice piece of gold when I walk out. You know what I mean? One on each.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that makes for dangerous fighters. When you don't put the pressure on, you just go in there. It's another day in the office.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any other questions before we wrap up?
Just a quick, you got one belt, you're looking to get the other one. You win Saturday night, get the ego belt. Will you be bringing the other belt with you to take a nice little picture with both in the cage over both shoulders?
Of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Had to make sure.
Might
That's the right way to do it.
bring a little Irish flag too, so acting.
There you go. Nice.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you stopping out.
Appreciate
Do you have any shout-outs? You can shout out.
Shout out Demolition. Shout out Gary Young. This is all because of him, pretty much. I enjoy fighting. He does all that. I just show up when he tells me to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you making time, stopping out, and good luck this weekend.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, boys.
Thank you, Will.
Yep.
Thanks, Will.
See ya.
Nice.
Yeah. They're both too calm,
I know,
too
man.
respectful. It's about they're just going in there.
I was trying.
I feel like the real ones know, though, right? I don't think we're the only ones to have made that connection of, man, you have some of these guys that they're so strictly business that even this part of it is sort of like, yeah, I'm not here to rile myself up or rile the other guy up. Don't let that inform the way you think things are going to go once that cage door is locked, because these guys are not going to be polite for those few minutes in the octagon. It's going to be incredible watching these two go at it.
Me
Oh,
personally, I flip camera mode, flip to entertainment mode when the questions start getting asked. You got to hype it up. Whether I mean it or not, I might not even hate the dude, but cameras are on. You got to do it.
Someone knows how to shoot that promo.
Hey, absolutely. Years in the game. I know it's up.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of this weekend, Connor, you want to lead us through a little bit of this card?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull something up here. We got a lot good amateur fights in this card. I'll be there. I'll be on the commentary booth. Me, myself, with my dad, and then my good friend and teammate, Kyle Bargy, will all be doing commentary this Saturday night for this card. I got some teammates on this card as well. There's a lot of good fights I want to look at. I'll touch on my teammates first because they're closer to home for me. As you guys remember, Justin Seipel made his boxing debut at the Sniper Series with a quick knockout. Well, now he's making his MMA debut. And usually when guys make their debut, you get a fight to kind of ease your way in. Justin's fighting 2-0. Ryan Cornell, 2-0 fighter at 155. Very excited for that. We know Justin's got them hands, so let's see if he can put it all together in an MMA fight. I'm excited for that one. That one should be fun. Another teammate of mine, I fought on Carnage not too long ago, Anthony Swartz. We taking on AJ Caruso from Dayton Visions. Two great 170-pound fighters. I'm excited for that fight. Somebody's going to come out of there with a win. And then Jake Lee, my good friend and teammate Jake Lee, almost been a year away from the cage. He's coming back, 155, taking on Austin Roberts. That's going to be an interesting fight. Good to see Jake back, see what he's got, see what he's bringing with him on his return. And then this might be a little biased, but one of the fights I might be the most excited about, undefeated versus undefeated. Jay Bashaw, 1-0, going up to 185, taking on the 2-0. Seth Peoples coming down from 205. That fight is going to be electric. Two absolutely massive dudes. I can't wait for that. Seth, first fight, we remember his knockout at first Carnage Fight Series. One of the craziest knockouts I've seen. He gets that, and then he goes on short notice up to BCM and beats another undefeated 1-0 fighter in Troy Vermillion, puts him up to 2-0. And then Jaden Bashaw made his debut against Anthony Swartz, put on a dominant performance, showed that he can do a little bit of everything, good wrestling, grappling, striking. I feel like that fight has the ability to be fight of the night. So I'm super excited for that one. There's other familiar names too on there, like James Gibson and Kyle Paul will be going one-on-one with each other. Like I said, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of good fights. I'm excited for it. You got to be there Saturday. You don't want to miss that at all.
Oh, for sure. Just touch back on it. Yeah, I was going to say that Peoples versus Bashaw, that was the one perking my eyes.
Yes.
Oh, man. Peoples comes with some heavy leather, and then Bashaw, he surprised. He comes with a lot of energy.
He does.
And he's not afraid in that ring. He comes to fight.
That fight is going to be great. I'm excited. At 185, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
So that's my pick for fight of the night.
There's pro fights later on tonight as well. We talked about one of the title fights, obviously, earlier with Chip and Will. There's also another title fight between Sean Freeman and Andrew Gamblin that night. So we got two amateur title fights. There'll be two pro fights at the end of the night, plus all the amateur fights earlier before that I touched on. Like I said, it's a loaded show. It's going to be great. And then you'll get to hear my voice all night long on commentary. So it'll be a great night.
That's right. It sells itself. Damn.
There it
is. Andrew, yeah, that one between Gamblin and Freeman would be also very high up on my personal fight of the night candidates. I think those two both have a lot to offer. But yeah, that is part of what made my eyes light up when I saw this card. I was like, oh, I have seen 80% of these fighters at least at one point or another, and that's where it really gets exciting because you're getting to see some matchups that maybe you've thought about before, at least I've thought about before at the commentary desk. Like, man, I've seen this guy over here at Ego. I've seen this guy on a Combate or a Carnage show. Like, man, I can't wait for these two to meet up. And this feels like the personification of that is this card, where it's just like, oh yeah, you've got a lot of tough guys from different teams that are going to be meeting up. I really also like Connor had said, Justin Seipel versus Ryan Cornell, I think, is another one that could have the opportunity to be one of the contenders for fight of the night. It just depends on how it goes. I mean, we've seen Justin end one pretty quick, but Ryan's also a very skilled fighter, so it's hard to imagine him going in there and not making it interesting. So there is a ton to like about this card. I would get there early and be quick at the intermission. All right, I'm looking at this card. Peoples versus Bashaw is the first fight after the intermission, so hustle up.
Yeah,
hustle up when you get that popcorn, dude.
Don't miss that. It's gonna be great. Like I said, it's a lot of, like you said, a lot of fights. What if this guy fought this guy? It's like a big worlds collide this Saturday. A lot of them what if matchups are happening. So it's gonna be a fun one.
For sure. Speaking of some good fights, we had some good fights last weekend, and the main event was a wild one. RDR, Renier de Ritter, number 4 middleweight versus Brendan Allen, number 9 middleweight. This UFC Fight Night Vancouver. Did you watch this fight, Connor?
I sure did watch that fight.
Oh my gosh. So RDR came in. He handled business like you would expect him, takedown and control, grappling wise. But he kind of got high in the second round, and then Allen threw his ground and pound in.
Yeah, he tried to De Ritter, he likes to grapple, but when you meet a guy like Brendan Allen, who a lot of people forget how good of a grappler Brendan Allen is, that's it's not going to come as easy as you thought. And we saw what the outcome was there for RDR, a little not enough in the tank on Saturday night for RDR. And yeah,
it just like RDR was just basically doing jiu-jitsu. He wasn't doing mixed martial arts in there.
He wasn't fighting.
He was just trying to catch a submission, but like when you're just doing jiu-jitsu, you're obviously going to leave yourself open for some ground and pound, and Allen, it's one of his best attributes.
Yeah, if you see the outcome of that fight, and if I were to, you look at it, you hear one of those guys took it on short notice, you would think it was RDR, the one that gassed out, took it on short notice, but Brendan Allen took it on short notice and looked very good in that fight, and really, but he was coming off, I think, a 2-fight losing skid there too. No, he lost 2, came back, beat Vittori. Now he's on a 2-fight.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, he did beat Vittori.
Yeah, he came back and beat Vittori. But that makes me think RDR was supposed to fight Fluffy Hernandez, and if Brendan Allen can do that to you, I don't even want to imagine what Anthony Hernandez would have done to RDR.
I know. It was crazy. Allen broke him.
He did.
He broke him. After that third round, the doc had came in because he took forever to get up to go to his corner, and there pretty much was like, can you continue? And RDR didn't really even say anything. I think he was
his coach,
hoping that they were going to call it for him.
Yeah, his coach has been taking a lot of credit, like saying, like, don't give crap to De Ritter. This is on us. I threw in the towel or whatever, which this is the second time in RDR's career that he has given up in the corner. He did it before his time in the UFC, but that's 2 instances now where he just said, I don't want to do this anymore, and took the easy way out. So that's a rough look.
That's wild. When you're in the top 5, you're on this run that he's been having, and
crazy run he's on.
To quit, just like you had a whole round to come back and bounce back, and he's like, nah.
If he wins that fight, there's a good chance he gets a title shot, or at least right after whoever, like he's right there.
Yeah.
And then said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. That's rough, man.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time getting a title shot after that.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. I don't know what's next for him. Hopefully a 3-round fight. That's what it should be next. He don't need none of this fight night main events, nothing 5 rounds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he ain't going to get a main event for a while.
Nah, and if he wanted a title shot, if Brendan Allen gassed you out, imagine what Khamzat Chimaev would do to that dude. Oh, my God. Yeah, he's not ready for that yet.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to touch on the co-main event, too, real quick, too. It was Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott.
Yeah, and that was another bizarre fight as well.
Yeah.
The groin shot. heard around the world on that one.
Mhm.
There's a lot of weird officiating that night.
It was weird officiating. Um, yeah, I think Kevin Holland has not been on a good streak right now.
Well, he keeps bouncing up and down from 70 to 85, and he has way better success at 70. He needs to stick at 70, and then every time he goes to 85, it doesn't work out. I'm like, dude, just stay at welterweight. He like submitted. Who did he just come off submitting? Was it RDA? Did he submit RDA? Was that his last fight?
I think his last fight that he won was Luke.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I said RDA.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He got
Luke,
him
yeah.
a stroke, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loves that dart stroke. He's got such long arms for it.
Yeah, he's built for that. Like I said, he usually has success at 70, and then obviously, I mean, this one wasn't, but it was also a weird fight with the groin shot, and then I don't know. Like I said, that was weird, and then the Matt Frivola fight was weird. Did you get to see the ref screw that one up too in the Matt Frivola fight?
Yeah, I missed that one, but
yeah,
what happened with that?
I believe he fought. Was it Kyle Nelson? Is that who he fought?
Yeah, Kyle Nelson.
Yeah. So it's like the end of the first round, and Nelson's landing ground and pound, and Frivola's not really answering back. There's like 3 seconds left on the clock. Ref gets in the middle of him. Like, oh, he ends it right at the end of the round. TKO finish. Nelson's like celebrating like it's over. Frivola goes back to his corner, and they just go into round 2. I was like, did nobody just see that he stopped the fight? Like, they just went right back into fighting. I mean, Nelson still ended up winning, luckily, but he went from winning a first-round TKO to a decision instead. I was like, what just happened? Yeah, it was a weird night in Canada.
That is wild. Like,
yeah.
He's like, is anybody watching this fight?
Yeah, I was like, I remember looking back down at my phone, and they're like showing clips of them talking in the corner. I'm like, isn't this fight over? I was like, what is going on? They just act like nothing happened. I was like, okay, that was bizarre, but luckily he still won. If he would have done that and then lost the fight, oh, dude, if I was him, I would have been so mad.
I've been protesting that.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And they're gonna start implementing instant replay. Like, hang on, we're gonna throw out a challenge towel into the cage.
I was like, maybe the clock was behind. I was like, I don't know what happened here, but I think the ref just screwed up. I don't know. It was wild.
Oh yeah. So it was good fights. Some weird instances in that main event there, but we got a big card this weekend.
Yes, in Abu Dhabi.
So I wanted to touch on Aspinall versus Gane.
Yes.
Is Aspinall gonna be on his start his run of King of the Heavyweights?
I absolutely believe so. I do. When it comes to Tom, this is really the only guy left to fight, Cyril Gane. I mean, you look up, he beat Pavlovich already to win the belt. He defended it against Curtis Blades. Before that, he had beaten Volkov. He had beaten Spivak. He had beaten a lot of these top heavyweights. So Cyril Gane, I guess, is kind of the only option. I don't agree with him getting a title shot at all. He lost his title shot to Francis Ngannou. He lost his title shot to John Jones. And then he beats Alexander Volkov. I watched that fight live. Totally thought he lost, but they gave it to him. Now he's getting the title shot. I think there's a lot of holes in Gane's game. He's a good striker, but he doesn't have that power. He doesn't really have knockout power when you watch his striking. And his takedown defense is not very good. And you get a guy like Tom Aspinall who moves around like a welterweight at heavyweight with good wrestling. I just think it's a bad matchup for almost everybody, especially Cyril Gane. So I think Aspinall gets it done, and I believe he'll get it done quick, and I believe he'll get it done by submission on the ground.
Submission, okay.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think he'll be pretty motivated to end that one quickly. And then that's when the real questions begin, because as we've talked about at length on this program, there's not a lot of star power in that division right now. So they're in dire need of some talented up and comers that they can start to push up to that level. Otherwise, it might be a slow year for Tom next year. It might not even be his own doing, right? Like,
no, I think all they got. I mean, I think Tom wins that fight, and then earlier in the night is Alexander Volkov and Jelton Almeida. I think the UFC is really banking on Jailton Almeida to win that fight
Mhm.
because he's the only
Yeah.
guy that hasn't fought Tom Aspinall, that Tom Aspinall hasn't absolutely ran through yet. And he's a good grappler. He's a very good grappler. He's one of these heavyweights that's in good shape and not just fat. There's a lot of just fat heavyweights. Cyril Gane is in great shape, by the way. I just saw his photo shoot pictures for this
Yeah,
Saturday.
he
That
is.
dude looks like a superhero. So but Jailton Almeida, I think the UFC kind of needs him to win that fight against Volkov. I mean, the winner of that fight, him or Volkov, will probably get the next title shot anyway, unless Cyril Gane wins, and then all of a sudden John Jones is back. Wants to fight Cyril Gane. Once Tom's up.
Play some bets. If
Yeah.
Gane wins, do you think he comes back?
The first person to tweet once Gane wins is going to be John Jones.
Dude, that's exactly what I was gonna say, dude.
He'll have the
100%.
first tweet out.
He'll be out there. He'll be booking himself for it on social
Just
media.
talking so bad about Tom Aspinall, like I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, like just talking like, yeah, oh, dude, like, I hate it. I know it's going to happen. If he were to beat Tom Aspinall, John Jones would be the first one to put his name in the hat for the rematch. He goes, who doesn't want to see me and Cyril Gane again? Nobody. Nobody wants to see that.
before his hand would be raised, John would be campaigning for that. Yeah.
Already. Yep. Already on the phone with Dana.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you guys. I think Tom Aspinall is going to win this fight. I think it's going to be relatively easy for him. I think it's going to be a third round TKO by ground and pound.
Nice.
Then it comes like, do we think Tom is going to be the greatest heavyweight of all time?
I mean, his resume is, all the guys, the big thing with Tom Aspinall, everybody said, they're like, well, look at the guys he's beaten. He really hasn't beaten anyone. He's beaten everyone in the heavyweight division. Whether you think they're good or not is up to you. And if you think they all suck, well, he beat them all in the first round. So, like, he's beating everybody. So, I mean, literally, after this, like I said, there's not much for him to do to be considered the heavyweight GOAT. I mean, right now, most people would say it's Stipe Miocic would probably be up there for the UFC heavyweight GOAT. I believe a lot of people would say that. That's the one I hear the most. That's probably what I would say. So,
yeah,
I think
he's
that's
the only one to defend the belt. The only one to defend the heavyweight belt 3 times.
Yeah, that'd be the one to chase. Yeah.
I believe Tom could do that.
Yeah, technically this would be his second defense.
Yeah.
I mean, he defended the interim belt, which I still thought was so stupid.
So wild.
Which is a travesty all on its own. But
yeah, defending the interim title was crazy. But
thanks, John.
Yeah, John Jones in that whole thing. So, I think he's got potential to be heavyweight GOAT for sure.
Yeah, I am very aligned with Connor on this one as well. I think that this could be a scenario where there will be 2 schools of thought, and it'll be, like the sickos like us that are watching it and seeing a lot of people, maybe not everybody in the division, but the people who are watching a lot of fights will be able to say, yeah, I think Tom's the GOAT, but maybe there will be some more casual fans or, the type of folks that are only buying a UFC if there's 3 or 4, high level fights that they want to see that might not agree with that just based on like what Connor said. Well, they don't perceive the people he's beaten to be good. So, they might say, well, he's not as good as my previously established GOAT. Because that's the thing about like human psychology. It's a lot tougher to get us to embrace a new idea than it is to just reinforce what we already believe. So I think he might have a bit of a challenge winning over some folks if the heavyweight division doesn't get a few more big names created or developed over time. But yeah, I do think he's got a really good chance to be that because he's still a freaking young guy too, right? If I'm not mistaken, like we're not talking about somebody who's
I believe
only
he's
got a year.
20s. Yeah, I think he's late 20s, I believe.
Yeah, so he could still be doing this for quite some time, and that longevity, I think, to pull a parallel from a different sport, there are definitely still those people my age or older who will always say Michael Jordan was the GOAT, but LeBron doing it at such a high level for such a long time, after a certain point, you're kind of like, dude, how can you dispute that he's the greatest, right? Nobody's played at that level for that long. So he could even if the division doesn't improve and he's just beating everybody in the first round for the next 3 years, there's still a case there to be made for if he defends the title that many times. Like, how do you take that away from him?
Well, like we touched on too, the other episode talked about Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight. If Pereira were to move up to heavyweight and then Tom beats him, I feel like that would also really help his case to be heavyweight good as well, instead of beating up on fat heavyweights.
Yes, I believe for Aspinall to become the GOAT, it's not going to be good just to get the 4 consecutive title defenses. He's going to have to get a couple of relatively big names in there. So, like, if he gets that Alex Pereira,
I think that would help a lot.
That would help a lot. But, yeah, because Stipe, he beat Fabricio to get the belt. Mm-hmm. Then he defended against Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, and then Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
So those are some big names, some big boys.
He also has wins over DC too.
Yeah, and then he lost to DC, came back, won against DC, and then had the rubber match, and then won again.
Yeah, beat DC twice. So
yeah,
he's got the names on the resume for sure.
Definitely the deeper competition for him. But can't discredit Aspinall. He's just running through people.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, people don't like the name value, but like, AK, if he's fighting these guys, these names didn't like. If he was taking them to like split decisions, like, okay, I see your point, but he's smoking these guys. Yeah, like, he's making them like when he beat Pavlovich to win the interim title. I did not think it was going to look like that at all. So I was like, he's
and he doesn't have like a super hard punch. He's just
so
got good timing and quick.
His speed is crazy for being that big.
I know. It's insane. So, yeah, I think he would have to get like at least one good name on there and probably 5 title defenses consecutively.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah. Then I would consider him the greatest heavyweight of all time, I guess.
Yeah, he's definitely up there.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that card. Let's look at who else is on there.
Umar and Mario Batista. A bantamweight.
Yes.
Fun.
Umar. Co-main is Mackenzie Dern versus Berna. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
For the women's strawweight title. Dern, I've been waiting for her to get that belt. She's been so like really hot and then meets somebody with really good striking and then kind of takes a fall and then has to win her way back.
That's how this fight's going to be interesting because her grappling is what makes her good, but Jandiroba's grappling is also really good. So this is going to be – that's a great fight. I'm excited for that one too.
That's going to be great. Yeah, you got Umar
Mario
back at it. Batista. That's going to be a great one. And then the Volkov versus Almeida.
Yeah.
Let's hope that Almeida wins this one.
There's a light heavyweight fight too, I feel like. Am I forgetting?
Nope. Yep, you're right. Alexander.
Oh, Rakic and Mirzakhanov. Yeah. That'll be fun. Mirzakhanov's really good. People don't really know who he is because he doesn't have any personality. But he knocks out that dude puts people out. So that actually will be a really fun fight too. I think that'll put him.
He's like that typical Russian that just don't cold stare, just don't say nothing, but just comes in there and demolishes.
Yeah, I believe he's undefeated right now. So him will put his name put his name on the map pretty well. So that'll be
15-0.
Jesus, yeah, he's good. He's been putting people out, so that'll be a good way to start the card. And then a lot of big boy fights on this card.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like the big boys haven't been.
Yeah, they're getting some love. I like it.
Let's check this undercard. Not a whole lot of big names on the undercard, but
it's that one dude from Australia. I can't remember his name. I like watching him. I can't remember his name.
Australia.
I'll find it. It's the Quillen dude.
Oh, Quillen, yeah.
Yeah.
Quillen, yeah, I do like him too.
He was fun to watch. I watched a couple of his fights. His were really fun.
Chris Barnett. He is a heavyweight. He's from Spain.
Yes.
He's 5'9", 265. And they
He's
compared him. I
hilarious.
forgot who it was. I forgot. It was with a flyweight or something like that, or featherweight that was also 5'9", 145. They're just comparing. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, it's going to be a great main card event this weekend. So looking forward to watching that. We'll see how Tom can take out Gane. I think Gane is good in the sense of like athleticism, but I do think he gets a little overhyped.
Like I think that might just be a product again of the situation. You know, who else is going to be hyped up in that division right now? You know, like it becomes the problem when you don't really have the name power to draw, and you're like, well, we gotta build this up. Now you're all good, Connor.
I heard the wind started. I heard one big gust of wind started whipping, then all of a sudden everything went away.
Oh no!
But luckily it came right back, so we're good.
Awesome. But yeah, great fights this weekend on both ends in the UFC and the local regional scene. So don't miss out.
That's in Abu Dhabi too. So like I'll get to watch that and then get to do the Ego.
Yep.
Show. They won't cross, which is great. I hate when that happens.
I know. For sure. So, well, I think that ends it. Where can they find you, Connor?
As always, every Wednesday, right here, talking about all things MMA, UFC, pro wrestling, whatever it is going on in the news. You can catch me this Saturday in Salina at the Shipyard for Ego Fight Series 5. I'll be there on commentary. It's going to be a great show like we talked about earlier. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Show starts at 6. 11 total fights, 2 amateur title fights, 2 pro fights to end the night. It's going to be a great show. Make sure you come out to that. And as always, follow me on Instagram at i.am_Connor Smith. And then, like I say every time, eventually I'll be back in the cage. Just whenever that time comes, you guys will know. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Kev?
Well, first and foremost, if you are looking for me, I'd like you to go check out the Carnage Media channel and look into the 2 newest, most recent at least, episodes of Benchmark Pro Wrestling. So BPW Fallout and Cataclysm have both been uploaded to the channel. So a lot of incredible pro wrestling stuff going on there. And there have been some rivalries and feuds dating all the way back to December. So right now we have all 4 events from 2025 on our YouTube channel. There's a full playlist. So you can watch the shows from beginning to end, or you can cherry pick based on which individual matches you would want to watch. So go check out the playlist. Love what the guys and gals over at Benchmark Pro Wrestling are doing. So grateful and happy to be a part of that. So Wade, Zach, and I have been putting in the work to go film those and get those out. So that is where, if you're really looking for me, start there. But you can also find me on Instagram at Kev Nevick, or on Twitter at Kev Nevick_, because the jabroni who has at Kev Nevick has had a deactivated account for 4 years, and Twitter still just won't open up the darn handle. You're the only one, Twitter. Everywhere else I have at Kev Nevick on lockdown. It's my name after all, but no, some guy who doesn't even have an active account. Anyway, guys, follow me on Instagram at Kev Nevick. Wade, what about you?
Don't get him started.
Yeah, I've been fuming about this for 3 years.
Shoot. Yes, as always, here with you fellas, Wednesdays at 7:30, Carnage Unleashed. And as well, check out CarnageMediaPPV.com if you want to get the latest on what Carnage is going to be covering. Right now, it's our next event should be Ring Wars, November 8th. So stay tuned for that.
Don't outro us yet, Wade, because otherwise I just forgot that I was supposed to do something in honor of our incredible, you mentioned the website, and that's what reminded me. Clayton Scalina, our reporter, another commentator, he has his own picks for UFC 321 this weekend. So I'm going to run through these before we say our goodbyes. And apologies, Clayton, that I didn't remember to do that earlier. But I'm going to just read the intro, too, because this is great. As I enjoy this wonderful Cleveland Browns victory week, I feel obligated to make a couple of picks for UFC 321 this weekend. Due to a fitness test this Thursday morning, I can't make them in person, but I have trusted Kev with reading this speech, which was almost a horrible decision, but we pulled it out. We pulled it out at the 11th hour. Volkov over Almeida is what he says. Ooh. Experience versus youth. I enjoy Volk's well-rounded style. He's been a contender for several years, and this might be the push he needs to get a title shot. He beat Gane in their fight last year. I don't care what the scorecards say.
Yep, there it is. That's what I'm saying. That was a bad call.
And then he's got John Tridaboba over Dern. I'm sure I pronounced that right. Heavy grappler versus heavy grappler. Yeah. Dern has struggles with consistency throughout her career. Sorry.
That one I agree with. I like that one.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. See, we're on the same wavelength here. And his final pick was Aspinall via first round finish. He's going to look at John Jones beating Gane in 2 minutes and 4 seconds and try to beat that. Any way he wants. Gane is good, but we haven't seen a complete heavyweight like this ever. True size, speed, and athleticism. If he wins, Carnage Media reunion in London to watch his next defense. I'm in agreement on all of that.
Yes. Clayton knows ball. I agree with all of that. I love that.
He does indeed. Great picks.
And if you want to hear more of his thoughts, go check out the website, carnagemediappv.com, because he's been covering the Octagon events. Sounds incredible. Shout out to them, by the way. I love the way they've been treating our boy over there. So first time
he got to meet Neil Magny.
That's cool.
Dude. Yeah, I think he got full on press pass and stuff. They rolled out the red carpet for him, and we greatly appreciate that. Sounds like it's a well-run operation over there. So as soon as Carnage Media can book me a flight out to Germany, I'll come visit, Clayton. We'll go watch one together.
Oh, yeah. So, well, thank you guys for watching, and tune in next week. See you guys.